Hey everyone, welcome once again to the Union Pacific Railroad Evanston Subdivision, the N-scale inspired HO layout. My name is Daryl Kruse, owner and builder of the layout, and your host for episode 20 of season 2021. This is part 2 of a two-part video series on the construction of the Helix. I had originally planned for it to be done in 1 week, but it looks like it took 2 weeks. I was able to get all the Helix completed in 2 weeks, so it took twice as long as I thought, but still I don't think it's too bad. Building a Helix is definitely a lot of work, but it's also very rewarding. It's kind of nice to see the trains go through the Helix. And I'm glad with how everything worked out. Just wanted to show you a few features of the Helix and how it all turned out. I am going to do work next week on going from the Helix to the upper level. This is going to be kind of set right there, and it's going to go then to the second level. Now, I only ended up going around 4 times, so it's not as high as I was originally planning. I was going to have it like at 68, 69 inches, but it's only going to be about 65 inches. A little bit more about that. Here's some added structural features for this little bridge going from the staging yard to the Helix. I added some hardboard to the sides, kind of protect it from trains falling into the abyss, but also give it some structural integrity. Now, I'm sitting in the chair now. You can kind of see some of the wires going through there on the construction, and I'm going under it. And there's Patrick Mahomes, and now I'm standing up in a little section where I'm behind the staging yard and right next to the Helix. Now, I might put some hardboard here also. There's kind of like a bridge for going into the Helix, so I might put some more structural things there. But actually, the Helix is very, very solid. I mean, it's rock solid. It's attached to the walls, and just all the circles going around and around. It makes it very solid. And I'm in my chair again, and going into the center of the Helix now, and then standing up. This is where the dispatcher will be, and I did run a couple of bus wires. The 2 tracks are on 2 different power districts, so if one shorts out, the other one will still run, and they are also 2 separate detection sections. And I have then basically them wired to the track every 90 degrees. I have one more section. I still want to add some feeders right there. So every 90 degrees there's feeders added. So shouldn't have any trouble with there being power. Have to add some more feeders to the top level there. There you can see how I did the soldering up. I may tape up some of these when I'm done. Probably use that liquid insulation tape. This section here, there's going to be 5 levels. Here's the 4th one, and then when the track goes to the 2nd level, I'll probably add another set of feeders. I'm going to put a desk here. I'm going to just put some plywood to span here enough to house probably about right there, to house the monitors, and that way here I would be standing at the edge of it, and I can still reach. I'm going to also, I think, make it movable, so if I really have some major work to do, I can remove it, but I think for the most part it's going to be pretty permanent. So dispatcher will sit here. I was able to get 4.5 inches between levels, or actually 4 5/8 inches between levels, and it's plenty of room to get your hand in there. I've had to couple cars up from time to time, and it's no problem at all to reach the cars and be able to couple them up. All right, so let's watch some trains. First is going to be a coal train, which you saw in the opening, but we're going to see the full length of the train. I should say the full train go through the length of the Helix. This is the yard throat for the east end of the staging yard. So after it goes up the 4 turns of the Helix, it then will be entering the Geneva sub just west of Green River, probably around Peru, and then it will continue from there. So here now is entering the first level of the Helix. I think it, after running trains through here, I think it's going to take anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes for the train to go through the entire Helix. And this will be mainly blocked from the layout room, but I am going to put a little window, I think, about right here so that people can see their trains going through the Helix, so they kind of know where it is. Nothing's worse than standing there waiting for the train to come up and not knowing if it's, derailed or stopped, or is it moving, is it uncoupled. So I want to be able to have people have a way to look and be able to see what's going on in the Helix. All right, so we've completed one turn here. I have it set at 25 scale miles per hour, and it is able to go a complete turn in just over a minute. So I think for all 4 turns it'll be at least 5 minutes. Coming down, I think it's going to be slower. It's pretty much worked flawlessly going up the Helix. Have had some coupler issues here and there. One thing about going up a 2% grade, it brings out any problems that you have with uneven couplers. So there's a couple of things, or a couple times it's uncoupled, and I've kind of looked at it, and in a lot of cases it's just that the couplers were not at the right height. But on a couple occasions it was some unevenness of the track work. So I did have to take a couple of track pieces off and smooth out the roadbed. Mainly had a couple of problems where there were joints, and I didn't have it smoothed out properly from one section to the next section. I also did some adjusting in the grade where we had some issues where from one section to the next section, from one brace to the next brace, it was not an even 2%, where one section would be like 1.5% and the next section would be 2.5%. So I had to do a little bit of adjusting on those. Wasn't too difficult. Also, if you notice the braces, they're kind of at an angle, so I had to do some adjusting with that also. Since it is an incline, you would not expect the brackets, the supports, to be at exactly 90 degrees. So they're all kind of off a little bit. Some were better than others, so I had to do a little bit of tweaking here and there, but I got it pretty much all smoothed out, and it's able to go up. Any issues that I have now with couplers is due to the unevenness of the couplers. The biggest problem I have, here you can kind of watch the wheels of the locomotives and see if it's spinning or not. The main problem I still have, and it hasn't really been solved yet, but it will be, is when I go down, if I back down the Helix, and the couplers just come uncoupled when you have them. They kind of bunch and stretch out as it goes down, and the couplers just fail. So it's not a problem with the Helix. It's just an issue with couplers. I have to say the quality of couplers in HO is not that great, depending on which cars you get. So once I get the main line done all the way around and get continuous running going, I am going to spend a couple months just going through every single car and making sure everything's working properly, the right weight, and make sure it has the right coupler height and couplers are working. From there, it's going to go right here. As I said, it's not going to be as high as I thought. There's only going to be like 9-inch separation between the two levels. But I think it's going to work out pretty good. Both of them are pretty high, so it doesn't overhang the bottom level at all. It should be, I think it should be pretty good. And it is going to continue to climb from there. So there will be more separation as you go through the layout. So it'll start off at 9 inches as it begins the second level, but for the most part it's going to be a little bit, probably more like 14 inches, up to 14 inches separation. All right, now here I am standing where I think a lot of the operators are going to begin their run. Instead of beginning it on the inside of the aisleway where the layout is, I think there will be accommodations to have numerous different rolling chairs so that they can wheel themselves under the layout and get to this point where they can see the staging yard clearly, they can see their engines clearly, and then they can run their train through the entire helix and be able to see it very clearly. They may even be able to talk to the dispatcher if they need to as they get things going. Hopefully it won't be that they're distracting the dispatcher. Now here we have a crude oil tank car train. This is 40 cars, and it's being pulled by two scale trains locomotives. So there's one at the beginning of the train and one at the end. Now this one also goes up very easily. There is a little bit of spinning of wheels. I think it's pretty much going to take 3 locomotives to get up. But this will be the vantage point as the operator is beginning his run on the Evanston Sub. This is a scale trains Tier 4 GEVO, and the tank cars are by scale trains also. This one takes a little bit longer because the units do struggle a little bit. So I have it also set at 25 scale miles per hour, but it doesn't quite keep up that speed going up to 2% grade. It's actually 1.95, but for all intents and purposes, it's 2%. One of the reasons why I didn't go with the additional level is that the sewer pipe there did present a problem with obstruction. I don't think it would have quite made it underneath that sewer line. And I think here we'll be able to follow this locomotive and see if the wheels match. The turning of the wheels match the speed of the train. I think for the most part it's okay, but it is spinning just a little bit. There you can see it. There's a detail part from one of the scale trains auto racks that fell off. I have to put that back on. First of all, I have to figure out which car it came from. That's another scale train. This is the Kansas City Southern Giro. Scale trains pull a lot better than Athearn. I could not get this train up with 2 Athearn units. I've always kind of leaned towards Athearn because I like their decoders, and but now I'm starting to lean towards scale trains a little bit with the extra pulling power, which is very helpful on the Helix. Check the wheels. I don't know, spinning just a little bit. Maybe just slowing down because of the weight. So this is definitely taking more than 5 minutes. One nice thing is that the time in the Helix is either at the beginning of your run across the Evanston sub or at the end. It's not in the middle. So I don't think it should be too disruptive. All right, so we come here to the end of the run. And this coming week, I'm going to go from the Helix to the first level of the layout. I think the wheels are pretty much not really spinning. But anyway, we'll go from here to the first level. Hopefully get that accomplished this coming week. Appreciate you watching the video. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment. Appreciate all those things. And if you really want to get involved, become a member, see some extra videos during the week. But thanks again so much for watching. Everybody take care.